Did you know that this idea of a 1,000-year reign of Christ doesn't belong to just one faith? It echoes across the world. Picture this perfect millennia in the future. No wars, no chaos, just justice and harmony. Sound too good to be true? Or maybe it's a possibility that could flip your entire view of humanity's future upside down. Curious? Let's dive in and find out what this is all about. This isn't some dusty old tale. It's a mind-bending vision straight from Revelation 21 through 6, where Jesus takes the throne on earth, bringing peace, justice, and a total reset for humanity. But here's the kicker. This idea isn't unique to Christianity. Think about it. Hinduism has the Kali Yuga, a dark age that ends with a golden era. Buddhism awaits Maitreya, a future figure of enlightenment. Even secular dreamers chase utopias of endless prosperity. What sets the biblical version apart? It's laser-focused on Jesus as the king. Then there's this curveball from Isaiah 65:20. In the millennium, if you die at 100, you're a youth. And if you don't hit 100, you're accursed. That's nuts. Back then, folks averaged 30 to 50 years. Brutal. Today's global average is 73, so a 100-year minimum is still a 37% leap. 100-year-old youth? Picture your grandma sprinting at that age. It's a lifespan boost of 10 to 20 times the ancient norm, practically wiping out early death. Why? Maybe it's Eden 2.0, death's grip loosening. Ever imagined a world where 100's just the start? That's the millennium's vibe. Now, check this out. Isaiah 33:24 promises no one will say, "I am sick," a 100% disease wipeout. Isaiah 35:5-6 piles on. Blind see, deaf hear, lame dance. Health's maxed out. Then Isaiah 32:13-15 paints fields exploding with crops. No weeds, no flops. That's a 100% productivity spike over history's best. Zero sickness, peak output. Ancient empires dreamed of half that. It's a total reboot. Life expectancy, health, food, all hitting 100%. Ever pictured a world that flawless? The millennium's not just peace, it's paradise dialed up. Next, let's zoom in on something striking in Revelation 20. The phrase 1,000 years pops up 6 times in just 6 verses. Revelation 22:7. That's not a typo, it's deliberate. In a book dripping with symbols like 7s and 12s, this 6-fold repeat stands out like a neon sign. In scripture, 1,000 often means completeness, like Psalm 90 verse 4's 1,000 years are like a day. But premillennialists insist it's a literal 1,000 years here. Compare that to fuzzier timelines like Daniel's 70 weeks. 6 mentions in 6 verses, that's statistically wild. It's like the Bible saying, don't skim this part. It's huge. So, is it a symbolic flex or a literal countdown? That's the hook that keeps us digging. But why should you care about this today? Because it's more than prophecy. It's a blueprint of hope that's been firing up imaginations for centuries. From ancient believers to modern thinkers, this concept shapes how we see history, destiny, and even our own lives. Is it a literal kingdom coming soon? A spiritual metaphor unfolding now? Or something else entirely? We're about to explore what this reign means, how it's been debated across time, and why it might just change the way you think. So grab a seat. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Not everyone sees this 1,000-year reign the same way. Picture a room full of brilliant minds arguing over a single puzzle. Except this puzzle has shaped faith, politics, and culture for millennia. In Christian theology, 3 big ideas dominate the debate. First comes premillennialism, where Jesus swoops in before a literal 1,000-year reign. The world's a mess, war, injustice, you name it, and he fixes it, setting up a physical kingdom of peace. Early Christians, like Justin Martyr in the 2nd century, loved this view. They saw it as God's ultimate rescue plan. Next comes amillennialism. Hold up, no literal 1,000 years here. It's symbolic, happening right now through the church. Satan's influence is limited, and Jesus reigns spiritually. This took off with Augustine in the 5th century, who said, "The kingdom's already among us. Look at faith, not thrones." Lastly, there is post-millennialism, where Jesus comes after humanity, led by Christian values, builds a golden age. Think 19th century reformers like Jonathan Edwards, who believed spreading the gospel could usher in this era of righteousness. But these aren't just academic squabbles, they've got history behind them. Early Christians, facing Roman persecution, clung to premillennial hope. Jesus will return soon and set things right. By the Middle Ages, as the church grew powerful, amillennialism fit better. Why wait for a kingdom when you're already influencing the world? Then, during the optimistic 1800s, post-millennialists thought, we can make society perfect, and then he'll come. So, why does this matter? Because how you interpret this changes everything. Premillennialists might prep for the end times, stocking up on faith. Amillennialists might say, live it out now, be the kingdom. Post-millennialists, they're out reforming the world. Is it a real throne or a spiritual truth? A future event or a present challenge? Think about your own life. Does this debate shift how you see your purpose, your community, or even global chaos? It's a question that's kept scholars, believers, and skeptics wrestling for ages. What's your take so far? Now, let's paint the picture the Bible gives us specifically. Revelation 21 through 6 drops us into this epic scene. An angel chains Satan, locking him in a pit for 1,000 years. The saints, those who stood firm for Jesus, rise up and rule alongside him. No more deception, no more evil pulling strings. Then there's Isaiah 2:4. They'll beat their swords into plowshares, their spears into pruning hooks. Nation won't fight nation, and war will be a memory. Zechariah 14:9 chimes in, the Lord will be king over the whole earth, one ruler, one name. This isn't some vague fairy tale, it's a radical vision of a world flipped right side up. So, things get even juicier in Revelation 20 with 2 resurrections. First, the blessed and holy rise to rule with Christ for 1,000 years. Revelation 20 verse 5 to 6 says they're immune to the second death, 100% safe. Then, post-millennium, the rest of the dead wake up for judgment. No grey area, no overlap. It's a clean 0% crossover. That's a stunner. Most of Scripture, like the sheep and goats in Matthew 25, blends judgment vibes. But here it's a hard line, blessed or bust. Why so binary? It's like the millennium's a filter, sorting eternity's winners and losers. Where would you land in that split? It's a head-scratcher. Now close your eyes for a sec. Imagine waking up to a planet with no headlines about conflict or corruption. Nations aren't bickering, they're collaborating under a leader who's perfectly just. The saints aren't just sitting around, they're co-ruling, maybe settling disputes with wisdom or guiding communities with compassion. Revelation 24 hints they've got real authority. With Satan out of the picture, humanity gets a clean slate. no lies clouding our choices. So history gives us a taste of what long reigns can do. Take the Pax Romana, 200 years of Roman stability, starting around 27 BC. Roads got built, trade boomed, and people felt secure. Now multiply that. The 1,000-year reign blends that kind of order with divine perfection. No emperor's ego or corruption, just pure renewal. Or think of Egypt's old kingdom, where pharaohs ruled for decades, leaving pyramids as proof of what focus and power can achieve. What if that energy went into healing the earth instead of tombs? So, the Bible's clues are vivid. Micah 4:3-4 says, "Everyone will sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one will make them afraid." That's personal peace, your own space, safe and thriving. Revelation 5:10 calls the saints a kingdom and priests, suggesting a role that's both royal and sacred. Could this mean governing cities, teaching truth, healing old wounds? And what about nature? Isaiah 11:6-9, dreams of wolves and lambs chilling together, creation itself reboots. But what's this mean for us? A world where justice isn't a slogan, but a fact. Where leaders don't fail us because they're guided by the ultimate king. Ever wondered what society could be if selfishness and greed were off the table? This reign promises that, a divine experiment in what humanity could become. Does that spark hope in you? Or maybe skepticism? Either way, it's a vision that demands we pay attention. So, here's the jaw-dropper. The 1,000-year reign isn't just a time out from chaos, it's Jesus proving he's the real deal as king. Revelation 24 doesn't mess around. The saints reign with him, sharing his throne. This isn't some distant dictator barking orders. It's hands-on leadership that heals the world from the ground up. Think about it. The oppressed finally get their day in court. The broken get patched up, and everyone sees what happens when God runs the show. It's not a band-aid on society, it's a total overhaul. Now picture this scenario, a city ravaged by poverty and crime. Under this reign, resources flow where they're needed. No bureaucracy, no favoritism. Leaders who've walked through fire themselves now govern with empathy because they've been raised to rule with Jesus. Corruption, gone. Injustice, history. It's like eternity crashes into the present, showing us what's possible when power isn't abused. Spiritually, it's a gut punch. Our choices today, how we treat people, what we stand for, echo into this future. If the saints rule with him, who qualifies? Revelation 20 verse 6 says, "It's those who stayed faithful, even when it was hard." That's you and me, challenged to live like this reign's already started. Imagine a world where power isn't about control but restoration, where time itself feels different because chaos isn't the norm anymore. What would you do in a kingdom like that? Fight for justice now. Forgive someone you've held a grudge against. It's a preview that flips our priorities upside down. So this isn't abstract, it's real. 1,000-year reign of Christ could redefine leadership as service, community as unity, and hope as reality. Ever felt like the world's too broken to fix? This says it's not. Just wait till the right king takes over. What do you think that'd look like in your life? Let us know in the comments. Now hold on to your seats. After 1,000 years of Christ's flawless reign, Satan's freed and triggers a rebellion like the sand on the seashore. Revelation 28. That's not a squad, that's potentially billions. After a millennium of peace, justice, and perfection, a massive chunk of humanity, maybe most of those born in it, says, "Nope, we're done." It's a gut punch twist. Why? It screams that evil's not just Satan, it's us. Jeremiah 17:9 nails it. The heart is deceitful. Even utopia can't fix that. What's the takeaway? It's a stark wake-up call. So where does this leave us? The 1,000-year reign of Jesus is a promise that's both ancient and alive, rooted in Revelation, Isaiah, and Zechariah, debated from dusty scrolls to modern pulpits. We've traced its threads: a literal kingdom for some, a spiritual triumph for others, a call to action for the rest. Pre-millennialists see a rescue, amillennialists a present victory, post-millennialists a mission. But across all views, it's a spotlight on a future where justice isn't negotiable, and humanity gets a shot at thriving under Christ's rule. But remember, this isn't just theology, it's a lens. It zooms out to show us history's arc, then zooms in on our own stories. Are we part of the chaos or the renewal? The impact's huge, hope that outshines today's mess. A vision that could steer tomorrow's world. So here's the big question. If this reign's coming, however it looks, how does that change you right now? Could you live bolder, kinder, more purposefully, knowing this is where it's all headed? Chew on that. We'll circle back to it. All right, your turn. What's your take on this 1,000-year reign? Literal kingdom, spiritual vibe, total game changer? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to hear what you think, and let's get a conversation going. I'll promise I'll respond to you soon. Loved this deep dive? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and stick around. Our next videos tackling more wild biblical prophecy. Want a challenge? Share this with a friend and ask them, what would you do if Jesus ruled the world? Let's keep exploring these massive ideas together. See you in the next one.